Good morning. It is Tuesday morning, and I thought I would do a little like what I eat in a day video today. We'll see if it's of interest to anyone. Yeah, so hopefully it's not too long of a video. I did not plan what I'm eating today, so you're just gonna see what I end up eating for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Maybe it'll be exciting, maybe not, I don't know. And then I might do like a what I eat in a week video at some point too. If you are wondering if I dyed my hair again, yes, I did. It's a different color. You obviously can't see it very well because it's up right now, but I just really wanted a lighter brown. So yeah, we have a lighter color. We'll see if I keep it or if I change it the next month. I know that sounds reckless, but you know, I'm gonna keep some variation of this for a while. But anyway, I need to head off to work and get the day started, so I'll take you along with me. Does not look that appetizing because it really got smashed, but this is an Ezekiel bread pita. I have tuna in it, yogurt, like instead of sour cream, some smashed avocado, mushrooms, alfalfa sprouts, and then I put a little bit of white wine vinegar and then salt. A lot of people are probably gonna think that it's like really gross to have tuna for breakfast, and I get that. Yesterday I had egg whites with spinach and turkey bacon, but I have to have protein and I just wasn't in the mood for eggs, so I'm basically just having a tuna sandwich for breakfast. Also, it's actually cold today and I'm so excited. It's the first day that I could actually like bring out my coat. Finally, it's starting to feel like fall. I was thinking about talking about supplements in this video too, but I'm not really sure. I forgot to mention the most exciting part. I have hot chocolate. Well, it's not actually chocolate. It's carom powder, but it tastes just like hot chocolate. And then I put some lion's mane mushroom in it. Anything that I can do to make things like healthy. And then it just has some coconut sugar and stevia. So no refined sugar or anything, but it tastes just like hot chocolate and it's really good because it's so cold outside. So yeah. By the way, ignore the candy corn cup. I don't celebrate Halloween. Okay, so here is lunch. This is salmon I just made in the air fryer. I made a little sauce with that yogurt. So it's the Forager cashew coconut yogurt. It doesn't have any dairy in it. And I just put cilantro and a little bit of dill and some lemon juice on top, zucchini and carrots. Honestly, I usually put more veggies in this, so I'll probably still be hungry afterwards and have to have a snack. But I know it kind of looks like I'm like mostly low carb. I pretty much am, but I'm not like keto or anything like that. I have to be like pretty much low fat or be careful with having too much fat because I don't have a gallbladder. So I have to be careful with that. But I do eat like rice and things and like bread and things like that. I just don't do it all the time. I'm just conscious of how much that I eat. So most of my meals are just like protein and veggies. Then I have a lot of fruit. And then if I want like pasta or, you know, like you saw this morning, I had a pita bread, pita pocket, whatever, with breakfast, then I have it. So yeah, this is lunch. Okay, so it is 4:30 and I am just snacking on an apple. I ended up after lunch eating another, because I made 2 pieces of salmon, so I ate another half of the salmon, so that was enough. So I have an apple, and then I brought a beef stick with me if I'm still hungry before the end of the day, which honestly I probably will be because I tend to eat a fair amount. Hi, okay, so I am back home now. This is just gonna be a very like impromptu cooking portion of this video, baking actually, because I have been craving cookies all day long. So we're gonna make some cookies, healthy cookies, obviously. I used to make these a long time ago. Most of the stuff that I do, I don't actually have a recipe for. I just kind of make it up on hand. And they used to be really good, so hopefully they turn out good this time. In terms of dinner, I have no idea what I'm gonna have yet, but cookies are priority. So, oh, I forgot to preheat the oven. So I'm setting the oven to preheat to 350, and then I have 2 eggs. I'm gonna add some vanilla extract, so I just fill the cap like this. So that's probably, actually, I don't know. I honestly can't guess. Like a half a teaspoon? No, maybe like a teaspoon. And then I'm gonna add some sunflower butter. So I kind of mentioned earlier, like I have to be careful with fat. But every once in a while, so I don't usually eat nut butter, but every once in a while, if I'm craving it, I will, because it's great and it actually is good for you. I just have to be careful with it. So I'm gonna do like 2 big tablespoons of this. And if ever I do have a meal that has extra fat in it, then I'll just take a digestive enzymes. I have ox bile in it. This is like very niche, not for a lot of people. It's only because I don't have a gallbladder, but definitely something to be aware of. If you don't, your body just doesn't process fat the same way as a person that does have one. So I find that to be helpful, really like limiting the amount that I have. And then when I do, I take a digestive enzyme and that helps, I think. Okay, so I'm gonna just kind of mix that up quickly. I also am gonna add a little bit of coconut oil. I know this is a massive tub from Costco. I'm not gonna bother to melt it because honestly, that's just too much work. So we're gonna do like a little less than a 1/4 cup of coconut oil. Okay. I'm gonna add 1 overripe banana. I had it in the freezer, so I just microwaved it. Show you what this is looking like right now. So that's our wet ingredients. We're gonna do some coconut sugar. Just have this scoop. It's like almost a 1/4 cup, I think, coconut sugar. So let's do, I feel like 2 is good. And then I'm also gonna add honey. I like to do honey in this just because like everything else, it's supposed to be like a really soft, like kind of chewy cookie, and honey is a humectant, so it's gonna really add that moisture and also sweetness that we need. So that much. So I feel pretty good about that sweetness wise, but I am gonna add just a little bit of a mixture of erythritol and monk fruit. Just to make sure it's sweet enough. They're still not gonna be like super, super sweet. Just the right amount, I think. Cool, so that's all mixed together. Now I'm gonna do our flour. Usually when I make these, they're gluten-free. I'll do like brown rice flour, a little bit of buckwheat flour, and some oat flour. You can also do like almond flour and stuff, which I find is tricky. I think if you're doing gluten-free, the best way to do it is either like the Bob's 1-to-1 is really good, or just mix your own like healthier flours. This is the Heritage brand. This is whole wheat flour, so it's not technically gluten-free. So if you have celiac, I would still avoid, but a lot of people that are just intolerant to gluten can actually eat this flour because it's basically like how it was back in the day before it was crazy over processed and everyone started getting sick when they were eating flour. So this one's really good and I don't feel bad about eating it. So that's one thing I will say is I'm not gluten-free. I do eat bread, but I just make sure that the bread that I eat is good quality and it's not just white bread with tons of chemicals. Okay, see if that's a good amount. That was probably like a 1/2 cup that I just added in. I really should get a whisk or a spatula. I've just been using a fork. Okay, it's starting to come together. This batter is supposed to be pretty wet, actually. A little bit more baking powder. So I'm gonna do a 1/2 teaspoon. When I do the gluten-free, I do a 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder and a 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, because you need a little extra when it's gluten-free, and then just a little bit of salt so that that will rise. Oh, I forgot. I was gonna actually add a little bit of psyllium husk. This a lot of times is used as like a binder in gluten-free baking. I just want a little extra fiber, so I'm gonna add a bit of that. It's probably gonna change the texture a little. We'll see how that goes. Okay, so this is what my batter looks like. Still fairly runny and a little bit sticky. That's what you want. My cookie sheet, I'm just gonna put some parchment paper. Usually when I'm making cookies, I would say if you don't want your cookies to spread, to put them in the fridge first, but these I actually do want to. They usually end up spreading out quite a lot, so you get kind of a bigger cookie. And then I just grab a spoonful and I drop it. So here is what they look like. You can see they're already starting to spread out because it's such a thin batter, but they're gonna really puff up when we bake them. So I'm gonna pop these in the oven. And we're just gonna bake them till they look done. The camera just moved and got really low, so hopefully it doesn't look crazy, but they've only been in the oven for probably like 5 to 7 minutes and they're already done, so I'm gonna show you. So like I said, they spread out a lot. Look how huge these cookies are. And a lot of times they end up touching each other. That's fine, I don't really mind about that. I just let them cool long enough to separate them. I just take a spatula and I go like that because they spread so much that it's kind of inevitable that that's gonna happen. So I ended up actually adding a little bit more. I did add like a 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda too. And then these ones on the bottom, I put a little bit more flour because it actually usually is not quite as thin as I put them, but they feel very like cakey texture. They're really good. If you're like trying to eat healthy, or you do usually eat healthy and you want something sweet, it tastes like a regular cookie, honestly, and the texture is really, really nice, and they're not bad for you. So if you want to eat two, eat two. All right, there's obviously a lot of background noise because I'm cooking. I have some chicken on the stove, and since this is a what I eat in a day video, oops, I just ripped this. I'm gonna include these little paleo puffs from Lesser Evil. I get these all the time, and then also these one plantain chips that are just coconut oil and Himalayan pink salt. But cookies are done, so it's just really, I wish you could tell, you could feel it. Like they're just very, very like spongy and cake-like, but yeah, they're really good. And they're not like super, super sweet to where it's gross, but they are sweet and it's very satisfying and also like filling. So yeah, got some cookies now. Got some chicken on the stove. Don't know what I'm gonna do with it, but we'll figure it out. So for chicken, so far I just put a little bit of avocado oil. I chopped it up into pieces. I added a little bit of this butter chicken. It's supposed to be like an Indian like curry powder basically, but I'm struggling with a lot of different like seasonings right now. Most of what I eat is basically just salt. I want a little bit of flavor, so I'm really craving curry. So I put a little bit of this. I'm gonna do some salt, maybe a little bit of coconut milk. Just so I have some sort of like a sauce, and then probably eat that over rice with some veggies. So yeah, that'll be dinner, and I'll go ahead and I'll show you when I'm done. But after that, I probably am done eating for today, unless I have a bowl full of frozen cherries, which is usually my dessert or just a snack. I'll show you the ones I have. So there are these ones out here, right here. I get them at Walmart, and they're just a really nice little like treat when I want something sweet. So if I end up having anything after dinner, that's probably what it's gonna be. I also, for dessert, sometimes I will have a little bit of this. It's dairy-free coconut milk, vanilla yogurt. This one, vanilla ice cream. This one is also sugar-free. I think they use stevia. So the ingredients in this aren't too bad if you want like a little bit of a sweet treat. Texture-wise, it does not taste like real ice cream, which I'm kind of okay with, honestly. It doesn't really bother me. I'm just happy that it doesn't have sugar in it. So yeah, you'll get to know if you watch more of my videos that in my mind, sugar is just the enemy. It's so bad for you. It's bad for your skin. It's bad for aging. It's bad for your digestive tract. It's bad for your hormones. Horrible for your hormones. It's just bad for literally everything. Natural sugar is fine, but like refined processed sugar is just the devil. So yeah, I will sometimes have this, and I'll do like a little bit of tahini and honey and then some slivered almonds on top. I know that sounds really weird, but it's actually good. I'm like, gosh, drop those on the cookies. I'm like tricking my mind to believe that it's like caramel on top. And it kind of actually does taste like caramel. So yeah, if I end up having dessert outside of the cookies that I just ate, it'll either be a bowl full of cherries and this ice cream. Okay, so this is dinner. So I have brown rice. This is just the microwavable one from Trader Joe's, just plain. And then cauliflower that I steamed. It was microwavable, steam in the bag. And then the chicken has a little bit of that butter chicken seasoning on it, just a little bit, because I probably shouldn't be eating it, but I really want curry. It just sounds really good right now. And a tiny bit of coconut milk, a little bit of Himalayan pink salt. So that will be dinner, which is kind of funny that I decided to make this today because it's not really like typical. I'm usually just having chicken and like salt. I'm gonna kind of wrap up the video here. I know it's a short one, but hopefully it was sort of entertaining, or at least just like gave you ideas if you're on a fitness journey or you're just trying to come up with new recipe ideas. Everything I ate today was pretty basic, but yeah, that's it. So thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one. Bye.